Hey, this is Zan at The Pour Over. Today we're talking about the U.S. joining Israel in striking Iran's nuclear sites, a data breach that exposed 16 billion passwords, a heat wave, and other top news for Monday, June 23rd. Stay informed while remaining focused on Christ with The Pour Over today. Here's your quote of the day. Moses does not encounter the living God at the mall. He finds him, or is found by him, somewhere out in the deserts of Sinai, a long way from the comforts of Egypt, as did John the Baptist and his cousin Jesus, who is led by the Spirit into the wilderness. John Eldridge. Let's get started with some espresso shots. The U.S. bombed Iran's 3 main nuclear sites over the weekend. On Saturday night, President Trump announced that U.S. B-2 bombers, quote, obliterated 3 of Iran's key nuclear sites, Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan, calling it a, quote, spectacular military success. 12 bunker-buster bombs, each capable of reaching sites buried under 300 feet of rock, were dropped on Fordow, 2 on Natanz, and 30 Tomahawk missiles were launched from American submarines over 400 miles away. The Pentagon emphasized Sunday that the, quote, intentionally limited operation directly targeted nuclear infrastructure, not Iranian troops or civilians. Iran's Atomic Energy Organization reported no increase in off-site radiation. The strikes came after 9 days of Israel's bombing campaign aimed at halting Iran's nuclear pursuits. Iran has responded with missile attacks on Israel and has vowed to retaliate against the U.S. POTUS reportedly approved the strike plans Tuesday, but held off on entering the chat to see if Tehran would abandon its nuclear program. It didn't. Responses have been very mixed, both in the U.S. and abroad. Israel praised the, quote, bold decision, while others, including China and Russia, condemned the strikes. Many American allies, including the UK and Italy, offered support for the strike while focusing on the need for diplomacy moving forward. Stateside, most Republican lawmakers, including Republican Speaker Johnson and Republican Texas Senator Cruz, applauded the strikes as necessary to ensure Iran never acquired a nuclear weapon. Meanwhile, Democratic lawmakers, including Democratic New York Representative Jeffries and Democratic New York Senate Minority Leader Schumer, criticized Trump for not seeking congressional authorization before using military force. Multiple Democrats and one Republican, Representative Thomas Massie from Kentucky, have suggested the strikes were unconstitutional, backing legislation to prohibit further U.S. involvement in the conflict. War and the evil it exposes are a terrible reminder that the world is not as it should be. Seek peace where you are and trust that the Lord will end all war in his perfect timing. Psalm 46 says, nations rage, kingdoms topple, the earth melts when he lifts his voice. The Lord of armies is with us. The God of Jacob is our stronghold. Come, see the works of the Lord who brings devastation on the earth. Time to start thinking up some new passwords. Yours were almost certainly leaked. Researchers at Cyber News, a cybersecurity watchdog site, announced they had discovered one of the largest data breaches in history. Leaked datasets containing 16 billion login credentials from Google, Facebook, Apple, and, quote, any other service imaginable. The passwords were likely taken over time from multiple sources and by various info stealers before being compiled and briefly exposed. Cyber News says the data breach gives hackers and scammers, quote, unprecedented access to consumers' accounts, and that much of the data was likely duplicated, making it, quote, impossible to determine how many people were affected. Experts are reiterating the importance of practicing good password hygiene, including using a variety of strong passwords, changing them frequently, using two-factor authentication when possible, and flossing passwords every night, not just before a checkup. Here's a verse to consider when you're feeling exposed. Aren't 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them falls to the ground without your Father's consent. but even the hairs of your head have all been counted. So don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. Matthew 10:29 through 31.
Hey, it's Emily from The Pour Over. Summer's here, and so are all the ways to keep my kiddos from destroying the house. Make summer memories. Like pool days, ice cream stops, neighborhood cookouts. And thanks to Upside, my wallet hasn't even broken a sweat. Upside helps me keep the summer fun train rolling by simply claiming an offer and getting cash back. Instead of playing, how many popsicles can the budget handle? I'm actually saving on the things we're buying. It's a game changer for my summer sanity. Download the free Upside app and use promo code TPO to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code TPO.
In other brews, here's a rapid round of updates. The U.S. is cranking up the heat. Nearly 100 million people from the Midwest to the Northeast are experiencing a dangerous heat wave that will last through midweek. Heat indices are likely to reach 104 degrees in cities like Nashville and Louisville, with record highs expected in cities from Detroit to Boston. BTS is reuniting with their army of fans. All 7 members of the K-pop boy band have completed their mandatory 18 months of South Korean military service, making them eligible to return to the recording studio. Industry experts hope getting the band back together will boost the K-pop genre, which has seen a stall in album sales in recent years. It seems everyone is talking about AI. Meta is shelling out billions to build a, quote, AI dream team, including making a $14.3 billion investment in Scale AI to secure access to its 28-year-old co-founder, AI wunderkind Alexander Wang. Meanwhile, Pope Leo XIV spent his Friday sharing concerns with tech executives about AI's potential impact on children. He gave a similar speech to politicians on Saturday. California's National Guard can remain federalized for now. A U.S. appeals court ruled that it was within President Trump's authority to deploy the approximately 4,000 guardsmen to, quote, protect federal personnel in Los Angeles, despite objections by Democratic California Governor Newsom. The court did note Trump's directive was not, quote, completely insulated from judicial review, so expect more legal challenges. Oklahoma City is bringing home the NBA Finals trophy for the first time ever. The Thunder struck down the Indiana Pacers in Game 7 of the finals last night. Meanwhile, the NBA's offseason has already had a hot start. Kevin Durant, 15-time All-Star, was traded to the Houston Rockets yesterday afternoon. That's all we have for today. Thanks so much for listening, TPO fam. If you're listening on the Apple Podcast app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow and hit the notification bell to never miss a new episode. We're grateful for your support, and we hope you have a great Monday. Catch you on Wednesday. As Christians, financial planning isn't just about retirement. It's about faithful stewardship of what God's given you. Stewardship Investments helps families invest wisely, give generously, and align their portfolios with biblical values. That means avoiding companies tied to things like pornography, abortion, and trafficking, and investing in those that promote human flourishing. Learn more at stewardshipinv.com or check out the link in the show notes.